Hello and welcome to week 11 of our midweek devotional videos. Today our theme is hope. So you will be hearing from church members and those in our community about where they have seen hope this week, what has brought them hope. And to start off with this morning, I wanted you all to meet my husband, Micah Wright. As you know, he's the pastor of Spring Hill Avenue United Methodist Church, and so he's not able to be with me on Sunday mornings. I'm not able to be with him. But in this virtual realm, it seemed like the perfect opportunity to formally introduce him to all of you and to get to hear his answer to the question, where have you seen hope this week?
It's a really good question. And I have to say that I have seen hope this week and through this entire crisis in people like you, and church members, and people who are taking time out of their schedules to tune into programs like this, or people who have been volunteering for different aspects of worship, keeping people connected. It's really been in the people. I mean, people are the thing that have been making this pandemic manageable, getting us through it, and really where hope is inspired from. And so, yeah, I've been seeing it in the people like you.
Happy Wednesday, Ashland Place family. Kristen asked me to share about what brings me hope. And so I want to share one of my favorite Bible passages with you from maybe an unlikely book, the book of Lamentations. Lamentations was written by Jeremiah or by another eyewitness to the destruction of Jerusalem by the Babylonians. People have been carried off into captivity. Leaders and priests have been killed. There is death from disease and hunger. Former allies have become enemies, and the city, including the temple, has been destroyed. What the writer reports seeing is truly beyond belief, and Lamentations is exactly what its title says: a lament, a wail, a pouring out of grief and questions. But in the middle of the book, in Lamentations 3, verses 21 through 24, the writer says this: "But this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore I will hope in him." As the writer remembers the past faithfulness of God, he claims that faithfulness in the midst of a horrendous situation and says that he has hope in God. That's the focus of my hope, the faithfulness of God. I see it every day in people proclaiming the word, in acts of heroism, acts of comfort, provision, good people acting as the hands and feet of a faithful God. My prayer is that whatever circumstances you are in, you will feel the arms of our faithful God encircling you, giving you hope. Blessings to you all.
I saw hope today when I sat down and I realized that this situation is just temporary and it's not here to stay. But in a positive way, we can take it where we can come together as a state and as a nation.
Hey, church family. Kristen, I really appreciate you asking me to be part of this midweek devotional. My name is Bob Cockliff, and the question today is, what has brought you hope today? When I think about hope, the thoughts of hope, the feelings of hope, I think that's always filtered through our own life experiences and how we process that. My wife Linda and I are counselors, and we spent a whole career helping people with various issues in their lives. Some people deal with a lot of depression, debilitating anxiety, marriage problems, parenting problems, family problems, and that's how we spend our day. So I'm going to talk about my day-to-day and what has brought me hope through today's experiences. This morning, I met with a woman that I've been working with for a long time who's been having chronic problems with her teenage daughter. They seem to have been battling forever. And she came in today and she told me the neatest story. She said that Monday, when we had all this wonderful rain come through, she and her daughter intentionally got dressed up. They got barefoot and they went out in their yard and they sat in the yard and got drenched. And they laughed together. And she said that's the first time they have laughed in months. That brought them a lot of hope, and it brought me hope for their relationship. Then this afternoon I met with a couple who I've been seeing for about 6 months, and they came in with marriage problems and they were on the brink of divorce. And I thought that this coronavirus and the quarantine was going to take them one way or another, and I didn't know which way it was going to take them. Well, this afternoon they said that last night, after the kids were in bed, they finally sat down, they started sharing their life stories with each other. They started sharing their own personal love story with each other. And for the first time forever, they listened. They really listened to the other person. And that brought them tons of hope. And it brought me hope for their relationship. And finally, I think about our church family and what we're dealing with during the quarantine and the coronavirus. Our ministers and church staff have just been amazing at bringing us closer and closer together, even though we've been apart. And the lessons from lockdown have made me so intentional about my studying and about my faith journey, and I so appreciate that. So, Kristen, thank you so much for letting me rattle on here a little bit. I hope we'll all have hope. I hope we're intentional in hope. So God bless all of you.